All right, well, we just did Advent of Code day 16, so let's do day 1. Why not? Let's do this. So this puzzle involves grabbing the first digit and the last digit on every line in the input file and adding them all together. So it's pretty trivial. Should be able to knock this out pretty fast. And we just, yeah, we'll read it from a file, I guess. If stream ends, file1.txt. Check to make sure the file's there, because last one we just misspelled it. File not found. Always error check yourself, even if it's you. All right. So I'm gonna get the sample thing here. Then file1.txt. Dump that in there. And then the puzzle input is a big old file here. It's file2.txt. And 5px is the top one. 862 is the bottom one. Nope, that's Minecraft. Okay, right. 5px is the top one. 862 is the bottom one. Okay. All right. So all we have to do is process one line at a time. So we will do a while loop. While ends. Technically, this could be a while true loop, but I always do this just as a safety precaution. String s is equal to readline from ends. So the readline library you can find on GitHub if you don't have it, if you're watching this at home. So it's like getline, but it just returns it as a string instead of doing the little call by reference thing. This is green tea with lime added, so pretty refreshing. Every time you read from a file, always check to make sure that the file was not off the end of the file. So do and break if we do. And then all we need to do is just parse this, really. I mean, honestly, what if there's nothing in there, though? Interesting question. You can do this with a standard library function and a lambda. That would be kind of cool. Let's use a for loop. Why not? Okay. Int first digit equals 0. We'll just do a for loop. Why not? Simple. We could make this a one-liner using standard library std and a lambda, but yeah. S dot size plus. Okay. No lambdas? All right. So for this, we're going to need the CC type. Library, I don't think we need algorithm. Okay. So starting at the front, going to the end. Actually, let's make it a little fancy. Why not? Why not? Let's do this. So for auto iterator equals s dot begin, as long as iterator is not equal to s dot end, iterator plus plus. We'll do an iterator based for loop, just because it seems like Advent of Code is a good time to do those kinds of things. So an iterator is like a pointer that's going to point at each letter in the string, and as we go along, if we ever find a digit, then we will set first digit to that. So integer x. I'm sorry, I don't have good variable names. We're going to dereference the pointer. So whatever the value is, we're going to dereference it. Not an integer. Sorry. This should be a character. All right. And so if is digit x. I don't like x. Ch. So if we found a digit, then we will set first digit equal to it. First digit is equal to. So this is an ASCII code. So we're going to take the character and subtract alpha, the ASCII code for 0 off of it. That's going to convert it into a number from 0 to 9. And we'll break. We're done at this point. Does it say what would happen if there's nothing? What if there's nothing in the line? What if there's nothing in the line? I'm going to assume, and you know what they say about assumptions, I'm going to assume that everyone's going to be in there. And if not, if there's a line that doesn't have a digit in it, it'll be 0, so I think we're okay. So there it goes. Okay. There are lines with nothing in it, then it equals 0. Okay, cool. All right, neat. All right, so then we will do the same thing. Integer last digit equals 0. And the reason why I wanted to do a range-based, not a range-based, but more or less, is because we could do this with our begin and our end. And then all the code's the same, it just runs backwards through it. So last digit. We could have done this with the for loop and just gone like this, but yeah. It's less typing this way, actually. It's more copying and pasting. Is that good? Probably not. But there we go. And then we just have to make a 2-digit number out of the two of these things. So our number, our number is going to be equal to the first digit times 10 plus the last digit times 1. And let's just start off by just scouting the number and just going from there, because we have not even tested this code at all. Which 12, 38, 15, 77, 12, 38, 15, 37. Yeah, I didn't test it because it's kind of easy. Not, you shouldn't do it like that, just so you know. You should test your code. More. Okay, so now that we got all that, we just need to add up all the numbers. So we'll have integer total 0. And we'll just say total plus equals number. And see out the answer. Answer is 142. Answer is 142. Cool. All right, well, moment of truth. Let's switch it over to the big file. And we got 35651. And post that in there. The answer's right. Cool. All right. Well, how long did that take? We're 7 minutes into the video. Minus counting. I don't know. 5-ish minutes. What do you got there? File open. Is digit. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that works. Cool. All right. Part 2. You did yours in Python or something? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Some of the digits are actually spelled out with letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This information you need to find the real first and last digit line. For example, 219 shows the number 2. That's annoying. Okay. And then we got, is this a different input? I think it is a different input. Okay. We'll call this one file3.text. Okay. 2, 3, 4. What you thinking? I'm thinking we're going to have to... If the digits come after the word, so we can just do a substring search, right? And find the first... We could run... Once we get a match, we stop once we go forwards. So if either that's a digit or there's a word starting from that spot. And we can use std substring. And So we'll have to type in the words 1 through 79. And that would give us, and we just type in the numbers 1 through 9 too. And kind of scrap our earlier approach. But that's actually kind of annoying because like going this way makes sense because like the 2 comes before 1. But these guys go kind of go to the right. And maybe it's not that big a deal. Just find the biggest index. Okay. All right. Well, let's okay, Minecraft. Let's do substring matching. Let's find the first of one of the characters in a given sequence, which would work for the 1 through 9. It's not going to work for the full substring matches. First. So we can do, I think we can do find first of and find last of, I think would work as well for the digits from 0 to 9. But I think we're going to actually have to do the substring. Last occurrence of the substring, yeah. I don't know if it's worth doing 2 different cases. I might just do all of them. Yeah. Okay. All right. Be a little bit more nice, being able to grab any of the 9. But I think it's actually be less code not using it. All right. So switch this guy back to file. Oh, let's file 3. Okay, so we need to make a string, a vector of strings named vec, why not? And this guy is going to be everybody we can match. And so this can be 0 and 1 and 2. And why am I not writing a macro for this? 4 and 5 and 6. And so 0 is not one of the ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 0 is not one of the possible strings. Okay. Interesting. We didn't skip any of the other ones, right? Okay. All right, so 1, 2. This is fun. Let me just copy these. Thank you. Did that take longer than not writing a macro? Yes. Okay, so that is our macro of all of the possible things we could find. I think 0 is still one of the options for a digit, right? So, did they say anything about that here? Did they say anything about 0 not being allowed here? Does 0 appear? Actually, that might be worrying a little too much about this. Does 0 appear in file 2.text? No. Okay. Well, does the digit 0 appear? No. Okay. Easy. Worrying about something that is not in the actual file. So there we go. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is this is part A. So part B. We are going to do a find on each of those things. Whichever one gives us a index closest to the start is our answer for the first one. And then whoever gives us the answer towards the end for the other one. That. Let's see here. So find string. This is a string. Find is print. What is print? ID. Okay. And so that is the size underscore t, probably, right? Yeah, so that's just the index. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to do this for every. Okay. So okay. So int first index is equal to big number that's bigger than the strings. And last index equal 0. All right. For const auto. So for every string in vec, we're going to call s.find on stir, and then that's going to return an index. So this should be a size t, I think. Index, so that, does that work? Maybe, I don't know. All right, so that's that. Or we just make this auto and not worry about it. Okay, so idx is equal to string npos, then it's not found. We can just continue. Don't have to worry about it. If it is found, then if the index is closer to the beginning than any of the other people, then that's our winner for the first index. Okay, so do something kind of hackish here. So I'm going to use the index of the strings as their ASCII value. Why not? Okay, so all right. So if the index, okay, so if the index is less than the first index we've seen, then the closest to the beginning index we've seen is equal to idx, and then we need to save the digit. So the string, so if is digit string dot at 0, then the first digit equals dot 0 minus ASCII 0. So if the first character in the string is a digit, which is either that guy or those guys, then we just convert it to the number like we did before. Because otherwise, it'll be one of the words we found, and we will say first else first digit is equal to index. No. Damn. I should be doing a for loop. Yeah. Okay. So I is the index in the vector. And so for the big words like this, the word 1 is at index 1, the word 2 is at index 2, and I'm just cheating a little bit, making it easier on me. So I don't ever have to write a function to convert from a word to a number. It's just easier that way for me. Is it good code? I don't know. All right. Then the only other thing we need to do is go backwards. And then we can just do the same thing again. idx is equal to s.reverse find string. And reverse find, let me just double check that. Finds the last occurrence. This is a string, so is here. Print. This is not very helpful. Use Q, find a single character as. Not found. Okay. That is at 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this one is counting. Okay, now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it's still giving us the index. Is at 2 starting 4. Okay. S. Find that. 10. 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. So it's going backwards. This is 0. Okay. All right. Wish the examples are a little bit better. Like if you have two of the same word, but should be good. What's going on? Agam? What's going on here? Interesting. Okay. Can IDX compare to integer? Yeah, that should be a size T, I think, which is just an unsigned integer. But that is the location in the string where we found it. And that's not what we want for this. For this is literally the digit that we're converting like 8 EIGHT to the number 8. So so we're gonna just do the exact same thing here, just backwards. Okay. Yeah, actually that's fine, because if 8 wasn't in it going forwards, 8's not in it going backwards either. Okay. Okay, and then this will just be almost the same. If index is greater than the last index, then the last index. And 5s last and dot. Should do it. So the person that is the nearest to the end should be found using the slash is digit. So if the person is digit, we convert it. Otherwise, we do that. Okay. Let's see how this goes. 281. Neat. All right. Well, cool. Let's try it on the big boy. Not the right answer. Your answer is too low. Make sure you're using the full input data. Interesting. All right. It hasn't changed. Okay, I was curious about it. So how is that too low? All right, let's try debugging it then. Okay. Good. I was worried this was going too smoothly. Starting every line over. So let's see out the line. We'll see out first digit and last digit. And switch it back to 3, and let's do this. 219. Okay. So 219 is 29. 823 is 83. 1 and 3 is 13. 2, 1, 3, 4 is 24. 9, 8, 7, 2. Okay, 4. Good. 1. Oh, 1 and 8. Nice. We're overlapping. 2, 3, 4, 7, 16, 6, and 16 is picked up. Seems to be working. So what's going on here with file 2? That's our big boy. All right. All the lines of code are still there. All right. Well, let's see if we can figure this out. Look at it by hand. Adding them all up right. So we've got here first digit, last digit, first digit divided by 10, last digit, total plus equals number. We're outputting the total. The total is set to 0. I don't think any of these guys have more than a million characters in them. I hope. Yeah, none of them are that long, right? A lot of file lines. There's 1,000. None of them are a million characters long, so that's fine. Should have used max in there. Okay, first digit, last digit, first index, last index. That worked for the test case. First digit. Let's see if there's copy paster anywhere. Okay. Oh, let's just run it on the big boy and see if we can find some answers here. Oh, we'll just start at the bottom, work our way up. Okay, 8, and the last one is 2. That's right. 6, and the last one is 4. 1, the last one is 3. 2, and the last one is 5. 2, and the last one is 3. 9, 9. 2, 8, 7, 1. All this seems to be correct, right? 33. 3 only appears once. 45. 76. 3 and 6. 3 and 9. 3 and 3. How are we getting the wrong number? No idea what's wrong. Number is the first digit times 10 plus last number. See that out too, yes. I don't think we're going to learn anything from that. And you can see out the total. I don't think that's going to teach us anything either, but do this and pipe the results through more. Yeah, let's pipe the results through less because less is more. Okay, so starting at the top. So we got a 5 up top and a 3 at the end. It's 5 and 3, it's 53, just 53. 8 at the beginning and 6 at the end. 86. 86 plus 53 is 139. 6 at the beginning and 3 at the end is 63. Yeah, I mean, all these numbers seem correct, unless you didn't copy the file right or something. Yeah. 40. Oh, look at that. Good call. There it is. Okay. Why are we getting a 0 there? Because the 4 should be found coming backwards. Good catch, Eric. I gave up too soon on trying to figure this out. Are there more zeros in here? More zeros. Yeah, that one. It's the first character. And the first character only. All right. Good catch. All right. So. Right there. Oh, that won't work. That will not work indeed. So let's do that. There we go, 44. It's picking it up now. No more zeros in there? All right. Why was it getting a 0? Because the last index was 0, right? And it was saying if the index is greater than last index, which it won't be if it's 0. So if it's the very first letter and there's nothing else coming back this way, then it won't trigger it. So I just changed it to greater than or equal to. And we're done. So there won't be any ties ever. So that's all it took. So if it's 0, because I can't set this to -1 because that's an unsigned integer. Which is one of the reasons why I hate unsigned integers. It's just annoying like that. I mean, I could have cast this to be an unsigned or to be a signed integer and then set this to -1, but this is easier. All right. So yeah, so that should do it. That was a good catch on your part. Very good, very good, very good. All right, see out the total. Nothing. 53894. Boom. There you go. Good eye, Eric. Thank you. I appreciate that. It should be 44. Yeah, it is in fact 44 because the first number. This is from the previous run. So when you run something through less at full screens and when you quit, it goes back to the screen you had before. So it did in fact say 44 this time because 4 is the first and it is the last. But the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. And please clap. Yes, thank you, Jeb Bush. He's my presidential hopeful for 2024. He's going to come out of nowhere and shock the world. And now that I'm out of tea, I think that's it. So the yeah, that was the only kicker right there. Otherwise, this is how, like, I could see this being like really annoying, right? Or like people writing if statements for each one of these things. And like I showed you guys in the last video, like anytime there's more than like 3 or 4 things, and I stick it into a vector and loop over it. I don't want to write all those if statements, especially because you have to do 1 forwards and 1 backwards. Ain't nobody got time for that. And the only kind of ugly thing I did was I just made sure the numbers that are the words, their index is the number. Then I don't have to do any crazy if string equals 6, then 6 numeral 6. You know, it's the only little hackish thing. Little hackish thing here. Hackish. Alert. The strings have an index equal to their value. So don't mess with it, future self, if I ever come back and look at this again, which I won't, probably. All right, so that was Advent Code Week 1, parts 1 and 2. First part was like 5 minutes. Second one, it's a little bit of a brain burner, but still only about half an hour. And that is it for me tonight. Eric, thanks for hanging out with me, and hope this was useful for you and anyone out there who is curious how I go about solving these things. And I'm going to go to sleep. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Peace.